Growing up in my family gives you a certain sense of history. I'm simply the latest in a line that can be traced back generations.
Well, in honour of Prince William's recent birthday, he's just turned 43, there's been an in-depth profile on the future king, with a lot of friends and people that are close to him sort of revealing a little bit about what we can expect from his reign, but also the sorts of things that he's already thinking about in terms of what he wants to do with the monarchy when he becomes the king. Because it's no secret, of course, you know, the current king is 76, so it won't be as long that he's waiting as the Prince of Wales as his father was, because his mother came to the throne only when she was 25. So yes, we've learned a little bit more about what a King William situation will look like. And something interesting in there was a talk of the fact that a friend said he's not really comfortable with the top hat formalities. In this scenario, they were talking about Ascot, but it kind of was that nod to the fact that William, he really walks that line between being part of something that is a very formal institution, no matter how you look at it, but he also does try to be a little bit more relatable to the average person. And we see that all the time with Kate and William. They do have a way of connecting with people that is a little bit different and a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more casual.
By the way, you be careful what you say now, because these guys, they're filming.
I know. Do you don't need to roll your arm?
Do you know where it is?
No.
So we got a little bit of that in this profile. We also heard quotes, for example, that he's looking at an evolution, not a revolution. So he's not looking to ruffle feathers when he becomes the king. He's not going to throw out the rule book. We're not going to see, you know, an entirely different royal family than what we have seen, you know, for the hundreds of years previously. But clearly he knows that, you know, there's that quote, to not change when the world's changing means that you are changing. So he knows that he has to evolve. He has to keep the royal family fit for purpose. That's a quote that's regularly used in there. It's about being impactful. We also got glimmers of this last year when he was talking about being a royal with a lowercase r, and it's about that sort of soft royal power wielding diplomacy in that soft diplomacy way. And we've seen this on the world stage when he's been meeting with world leaders and attending global events, and he was actually the first member of the British family or any politician to meet with Donald Trump after he was elected last year. That was in Notre Dame.
Great to see you. Whoa, what a nice group. What is it? Good man, this one.
So clearly he's doing the work now to figure out what he's going to do when he is in that top job. He's obviously got a lot of big ideas, but he also knows that he has to really honour the institution that already exists.
Morning, very quiet here.
Interestingly as well, of course, as any mention of a deep dive into William at the moment, it has to include where he's at with the Harry rift, because that is just the drama that will not end. But particularly because Harry, of course, gave that BBC interview where he talked about the fact that, you know, he wants reconciliation with the King and Prince William, but that, you know, they're not speaking to him.
I would love reconciliation with my family. There's no point in continuing to fight anymore.
So what was interesting in here and very telling is that a source close to William talked about the fact that he's managed to now just move forward and let go of that. And it seemed that he was quietly burning or seething with rage a little bit over the last 5 years, particularly with so many new incidences provoking it, like Harry's memoir, the Netflix series, all those sorts of things. But now it seems like he has actually finally let that go. It's not taking up space in his brain, and he's able to just focus on the things that he finds important and probably the things that he can control, which is his job, caring about his family, looking after his wife. And he's no longer really engaging in that headspace, which would be unhealthy to hold on to for years, of feeling angry with his brother and holding on to that resentment. So it really was a deep dive into the future king, and it's a great little look into the crystal ball about what we can expect in the future.
Today, I ask you not to retreat. Now is the moment to look forward. Look forward to investments that hedge against climate risk and provide a pathway to innovation, profit, and resilience. This is a huge untapped opportunity, and one I'm passionate and excited about. Let's make what we do here today together really count. Thank you.